Thank you for having me on your show. Yes, I definitely think European utilities are investable, but one has to be stock specific. We've seen a number of utilities, for example, Uniper, that were exposed to direct Russian gas that have definitely almost gone under. So it's obvious that not all utilities are safe. Those that are either dependent on Russia or in those countries where the states are intervening directly and using utilities to somehow subsidize bills, as we've seen in France, of course, that makes it a harder proposition. I think what this energy crisis has shown is that we need renewables and the green energy transition faster than ever. At this point, renewables have never, ever been more cheaper than wholesale prices, which are driven by gas and fossil fuel prices. So we are at this moment where renewables actually need to be accelerated. We need to build more grids, and utilities are leading the way on renewables and grids. So I definitely think the sector is investable. However, there's a lot of noise. Your previous speaker was already alluding to price caps being discussed. Then there's news about, collateral needs of the sector. There's also the uncertainty about what kind of interventions politicians will be doing and whether it will be thought through. So there's definitely a lot of noise and uncertainty, which is definitely keeping investors on the edge. But I think when the storm clears, it will be very clear that those companies that are investing in the renewable transition, whether that's networks or renewables, will be long-term winners.
Deepa, I hear what you're saying about the renewable investment, and the IEA, of course, have talked about this for a very long time, the trillions of dollars needed to invest there. But there are many politicians and many bodies in Europe are saying not only renewables, but of course all energy sources, whether they come from hydrocarbon or not. Is some of that money that you want and that the IEA wants to be invested in renewables going to be sidetracked to more immediate sources of energy, to gas and elsewhere? And if so, is that going to limit the amount of money ultimately available for renewables?
I don't think so. I think the time frames we're talking about is fairly different. I think you can start investing in solar and onshore wind almost immediately, whereas obviously it might take 5 years or 10 years before any oil and gas investment even starts reaping. And of course, utilities have not been investing in oil and gas. I think there's plenty of money. Probably there's, in the UK yesterday, we saw an announcement that they're going to restart fracking, maybe more oil and gas licenses. But at the same time, they said that they are going to be also focusing to make renewables happen quicker. So I don't think there's any contradiction. We need to do everything and we need to do it quickly. And we know renewables are cost effective. They can be done very quickly. All we need to avoid is doing something silly, for example, tax windfall profits when none exist. So things like that could definitely hamper the ability of the sector to invest. So as long as politicians are sensible and only legitimate windfall profits are targeted, it's fine. As you might know, most renewable companies have fixed long-term contracts. They don't really benefit from these high spot prices. And even any commodity, any output that might be trading in the market is heavily hedged using futures, etc., which is why we have this collateral problem. So it's not that utilities are sitting on huge amounts of profits. You're not seeing utilities announce bumper dividends or buybacks. In fact, many of them have had profit warnings as well. So that's very clear that there's no windfall being made in general in the utility sector. So politicians just need to be very careful that they don't go after something and hamper the ability of these companies to invest in the green transition.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersetchi, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.